Are you ready to dive into the heart of music business? Introducing the Rhythms and Rides podcast brought to you by SAMRO.
And ask me, what is SAMRO? I want to go register my music there. If I, like, will I be whatever? And I never know what SAMRO is. SAMRO is like God, like it's a mystery. How does it work? How does SAMRO work, please? Explain it to me.
Join us as we unravel the complexities of music rights management, share inspiring industry stories, and provide valuable insights for composers, authors, and publishers. Each episode offers an informative session on everything you need to know about SAMRO and the music industry. Stay tuned for Rhythms and Rides, your backstage pass to the music business, only from SAMRO.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode with Nobambo Goduga, your host, with the SAMRO podcast, Rhythms and Ride. Today, we are with Ntabiseng Nyagane. She's from Member Services from SAMRO. So a lot of questions always come from our, what you call social media. Everyone is always asking, how do I register with SAMRO? So today, I've gotten Ntabiseng as she's going to take us through the registration process of becoming a SAMRO member. And from there, what are the benefits if you are a SAMRO member? Ntabi, welcome to the show, and how are you?
Hi, Nobambo. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I am doing very well. You know, on social media, right, every time there's a post from SAMRO, you will always see in our comments, in our feed, members want to know, or prospective members, or young people who are music creators, they want to know, how do I register to become a SAMRO member?
You know, it's a very valid, a very important question, because we always get it, even with family members.
Yes.
They will ask you that, I composed a song, I wrote a song, listen to it. But the most important thing is, have you registered with SAMRO, right?
Yes.
That's the first basis of anything. And our process is very simple. All they need to do is go on our website.
Yes.
Which is www.samro.org.za. Then simply follow the online application link.
Okay.
What's very important, though, is that before you even go on our website, you need to make sure that you have an email address, because before you start the process of the online application, you have to create login details to the portal.
Yes.
It's just security measures, And once you have your email address, again, make sure that you know who are the rights holders that, composed the song with you or wrote the song. If you, have an agreement with the publishing company as well, make sure that you know your share splits. Because a lot of times, when the members or a composer or an author start the process to register with SAMRO, they're stuck at that point. Because in the initial start of the process, after creating login details, of
Yes.
course, is that you need to, give us your stage name, for example, if you have a pseudonym or a stage name, and your personal details. But most importantly, we need to know that one song that you're notifying, who are the rights holders, and what are the share splits. Because a lot of times when they come downstairs, they're like, okay, tell me, should I give them 50%? Should I give them 20%? I don't know.
You can't be the one telling them.
Exactly that. You have to, before you even register with SAMRO,
Have the agreement beforehand.
exactly that. Know, even with the publisher, what was the agreement? Remember, publishers can never get beyond 50%.
And that's
You know.
the industry rule.
Exactly that. And we're focusing on actually educating them with that, because it's something they do not know, right? And my department as well, it deals with member education, giving them the right information benefiting them. Then, okay, they will register and make sure that if, for example, you are a composer, author, you have your ID. If it's a smart ID, then it has to have, the front and the
And
back.
the back, yes.
And if we also accept, of course, passport copy,
Yes.
And if you are a publishing company, we do need that agreement between you and a composer, author, right? Very important. I think that is some of the challenges that we see in the department, is that publishing companies, they do not know that an agreement is something that is very important, right? And a lot of times, they don't even know how to draft the agreement.
agreement itself.
So they will come again downstairs to say, okay, tap it for me and then I'll just sign.
You can't do that.
That's not how it works. Again, it's something that you actually have to prepare for again. And of course, the
Beforehand.
standard documents, directors of the publishing company need to
Yes.
give us their ID or passport copies. And again, a CK document, proof that you actually registered this publishing company with CIPC.
And you're compliant, most importantly. And you must remain compliant.
Correct that, yeah. And also, membership is no longer free, of course. 100 Rand if you're a composer, author, and 500 Rand if you're a publishing company. Then again, you register online. Once you've clicked that submit button, we will just do our internal processes, and if everything is fine, then you'll get an acknowledgement letter with your SAMRO membership number to then give music users. It will also include your IPI number.
Yes.
IPI number is just a simple number where we are able to track your music using that IPI number as well. Then all you need to do is create your music, but most importantly, whatever you compose, whatever you write, you have to notify us, because we cannot do what we're supposed to do, our mandate, without you notifying the works.
Because if that song is played on radio and you have not notified that song with SAMRO, when we receive a playlist from the broadcaster, who do we then distribute the funds to? Because we don't know. Yes, we have you on the system. You've registered with SAMRO. But now I know some of the problems that emanate when members don't notify is that we are unable to distribute. And then everything sits on the undocumented works pool.
Exactly that. Can I tell you a story?
Yes.
So last week I was listening to YouTube, né? Working. Here I am listening to a song. And then I'm like, because I work for SAMRO, is this guy that I like, is he even registered with SAMRO? Is this song registered with SAMRO? And guess what? The guy is registered, but the song is not.
Notified.
Immediately that, I called him and said, guy, I'm here worshiping you. It's very nice in my office, but I see that you have not notified the song. And to his surprise, he thought, no, as long as it's on a platform like YouTube, SAMRO will be able.
And it's not the case.
It's not the case. And it's a common mistake that a lot of composers and authors actually make, presuming either as a lack of education, of course, because, that's why the member service department want to educate, members on. So they always assume that because it's out there, SAMRO will find a way.
So, Ntabi, tell me, how often do you come across such cases whereby this is a well-known music creator, the music is being played on all different platforms, radio, television, but when we dig deep in SAMRO, we find that this person has not notified, with SAMRO to say, I've composed this song, I am a right holder to this song. How often do those cases come up?
It's very often. I understand that, composers of music and writers of music and even publishers themselves, the people who administer both these creatives are busy. They're very busy, I understand. But in your busyness, you have to make sure that, you meet SAMRO, halfway by notifying your song. And it's very common. We want to do so good by our members, but if they're not notifying their songs, we can't do good by them. So it's a common.
So that administration is very important for all of our members. That web, that portal, they must use it as much as they can.
100%.
Ntabi, so you said that there's an application process at SAMRO whereby members go to the website to apply, right?
Yes.
And you said they must include all of their information. And I know that there's other problems beyond, now I'm done with my application process, right? And then now, SAMRO needs to send me letters of confirmation, because I've often come across this question as well on social media that SAMRO, I've applied and I'm waiting for feedback. What are some of the challenges that the team is facing regarding that?
The biggest challenge that we have is that the email addresses do not go through, which is very surprising because the member or the applicant would have applied the Friday.
Yes.
The following Friday, the same email address, or the Tuesday, the same email address does not work anymore. So we cannot send an email we cannot send the letter to an email that does not exist, right?
Yeah.
So every single time when a composer or author or publisher, change their personal details, it's extremely, extremely important that they actually let us know. It's like with your song. We cannot do our mandate if you don't notify it.
Yes.
Similar to us, we cannot send important communication to
If I
you
don't have the email.
without you telling us that I have changed my number, I have changed my email address. So that is the biggest challenge that we are facing in the department, that our members' personal details are not up to date, including your next of kin, including your beneficiary. Yeah.
Because we're going to that, because I know exactly. That one is a very important one.
Yeah.
So new applicants, when they apply at SAMRO, it's 400 rands for composers and authors, and then it's 500 rands for new publishers. So members of SAMRO who are already members do not need to pay that fee.
Yes, correct. The only people who will pay the 100 rand is the composer, author that is not on the system.
Yes.
So a new applicant, and a publisher that is also not on the system and have never applied, then yes, new applicants. But if you're already a SAMRO member, whether you're a prospect member or an active member, meaning that you're already earning royalties, then you
Yes.
don't have to pay any fee. Even notifying, I know that a lot of times, members will then call us to say, I heard that, there's a membership fee now. When I notify the song, am I supposed to pay? No, you're not supposed to pay.
Because you're already a member of
You're
SAMRO.
already a SAMRO member, exactly that. Yeah.
Journey us through now, and Tabi, take us through this journey. I've applied. You've sent me the emails to confirm. I'm able to notify my music on the SAMRO portal, available on the SAMRO website at www.samro.org.za. There's a tab that says member portal. You click there, and I'm able to log in, and I've notified my songs.
Correct.
Now what happens, right? Because I know that you've got layers. You've got a prospective member, you've got an associate member, and you've got a full member. Can you take me through the journey of all these different members in SAMRO?
For sure. So when a person, or rather when a music creator wants to apply, or they have applied, right, they're now called a prospect member, meaning that we are waiting for your music to accumulate royalties that come to a value. For example, if you're a composer, author, at least it should be 100 rand.
Yes.
Right? And then if you are a publisher, it should be at least 1,000 rand. We do have systems in place that are able to track all of that, right? The members do not have to calculate, go there, and no, you don't have to do that. You gave us a duty, we will do that for you.
Great.
So then once, for example, so you're a prospect member, right? You're waiting to meet the requirements. Once you have met the requirements, then you'll be promoted, right? We see it as a promotion. You are being promoted to an associate member. Now,
Yes.
associate member, you often hear at SAMRO is that we refer to them as active member, meaning that your music is active, now you are receiving royalties, right? Then again, the more you earn, the more points you build. There's a whole other system in place internally as well. Then it's another promotion that we do. Then you become a full
member
member.
of SAMRO.
Now, with prospect members, right, you don't get any benefits.
Yes.
At all. However, if you're an active member, meaning that you are an associate and a full member, then you will then get SAMRO benefits such as the SAMRO funeral benefit and the SAMRO retirement fund. So that's the member journey.
So now it means that the prospective member has a lot of work to do. They need to promote their music. They need to market the music. It needs to be played on radio stations, high rotation. They need to find themselves in working together with production companies so that their music can be used, right? In order for them to move from one layer to the other.
Correct.
And I'll take you through again, Tabi, to some of to the challenges that, our prospective members have risen. Like they go through the social media and they say, but you're talking about SHREF, right? You're talking about funeral benefits. Can you explain to us that SAMRO has got these benefits, and why do prospective members not qualify, right? SHREF is the SAMRO Retirement Annuity Fund and the funeral benefits. So who qualifies, and also what is the criteria that qualifies you to have these benefits?
I mean, I think I'd like to address first the prospect members, right? I mean, you're also a SAMRO member. We also want to do right by you, right? Yeah. And I think a lot of times, composers, authors, publishers that are prospect members, right? They are under the impression that, SAMRO is, you guys need to promote my music so I can also get, royalties and also get the SAMRO benefits.
And it's not the case.
It's not the case as well, right? Our mandate is make sure that the radio stations, the TV programs, or any other platform is licensed.
Yes.
That's our job. You don't even have to worry about that. That's our job. Now, your job, like you mentioned, make sure that your music is out there. Make sure that you notify with SAMRO, of course. Then, once you have accumulated the like 100 Rand, for example, if you're a composer, author, and a publisher, then you can live the nice life of active members. Then you can get the SAMRO funeral benefit and the SAMRO retirement fund. So the people who have SAMRO benefits are the people who earn royalties because they've met our requirements, and we refer to them as active members, but it's simply an associate member, your status at SAMRO, and a full member.
So automatically, the moment I'm promoted to being an associate member or being what you call elected to become a full member, then automatically I qualify for SHREF and funeral benefits. So now, does that mean that because SAMRO is collecting my royalties, does SAMRO take a certain portion of the royalties that are due to me and then allocate them to these benefits? Or is it something that SAMRO does on behalf of members for free without any sort of contribution?
So it's non-contributory, meaning it's a thank you for working so hard. Here's something, from us to you guys. So it's a benefit. Yes. And I know a lot of times they love saying, especially for the funeral benefit, they love saying a policy. It's not a policy. A policy means that we're coughing out your pocket every month.
Oh, yes.
There's a debit order.
50 Rand goes there.
Exactly that. But with us, based on the revenue that we have generated that financial year, then the board will then, allocate a certain percentage, not from the member's pocket, of course, to say, no, this is part of our cultural and social fund, and it will be allocated to our members, to our active members, to associate and full members, where they don't have to contribute anything towards it.
And I'm certain it goes a long way because, in the South African music landscape, majority of our music creators at times, the only job they have is to produce music. For some, it's a passive income, right? Mm-hmm. But for majority of the way that our industry is currently shaped is that they depend on their royalties. So with this extra benefit that SAMRO offers, I'm really sure that it does go a long way. And I'm certain because you work closely with the members.
Exactly that. I mean, we hear the stories of how families, you don't even have to be a creative. Even, people from a different industry, you hear how they struggle to bury their loved ones, right? Yeah. Because of finances. And when I first started here and I heard that, SAMRO offers these without, the members coughing up something from their pocket, I felt like it was, they were closing a gap. They're actually responding to the South African landscape. You don't have to be in the creative industry to know that South Africa, economically, we're struggling.
Yeah.
So it goes a really, really long way. And I think it takes a certain type of character to be able to handle, the deceased department, because it's quite a sensitive one. That's why we're so passionate about it in the department, to say we never drop the ball when it comes to anything funeral benefit or SAMRO retirement fund, because of the industry itself and because of, South Africa as a whole. So it goes a long way to help the family members.
Let's go to that department, this deceased department. Let's talk funeral benefits, because I know that the scheme was introduced in 1998, right? And what are the key challenges that SAMRO has experienced over the years? Because I know that at times that our members don't know whether they are full or associate members. Some only discover through our CSI programs when they need to apply, and then we're like, no, you're actually a prospective member. Then they discover that they're actually not an associate member, right? So what are the challenges that over the years that the deceased department relating to funeral benefits that you have dealt with thus far, and how can our members help us in mitigating these problems?
I think the first one is exactly that you mentioned, that someone who's a prospect member passes away, right? Remember, yes. A prospect member does not have a benefit. Then when the family members then come and notify us to say, my father was a creator and he told me that there's a benefit here. And then when we check on the system and the person is not, an active member, yes. It's very heartbreaking to be able to tell someone that, your father actually was a prospect member and there's no benefit. That's a challenge in itself, because now you are dealing with a person. Now you're dealing with a family that, wants to bury their loved ones, but they cannot because of
They were not an associate member of SAMRO.
correct, right? And that has nothing to do with the fact that the father did not work hard. No. I mean, the music industry is in itself, it's layers, right?
Yes.
But to highlight the challenges that we do face in the department is breaking the sad news. I mean, it's never easy to break the
tell
news that
someone
we
that.
cannot help you, right? And the other challenge that we do face in the department is that members, again, similar to when they apply, right? When I mentioned that we cannot send you an acknowledgement letter with your portal login details to notify more songs if your personal details are outdated.
Yes.
Similar to our active members, the members who are earning royalties, we cannot pay your family members the funeral benefit if you do not update your personal details.
Yes.
Yeah. So it does expire for the lack of the better word. We do have a time frame for when you can claim this, right? So you cannot exceed the 18 months, for example. So again, if your data is not updated,
date.
then we cannot. And again, if you do not elect a beneficiary, if you do not fill in the beneficiary form, that's on that's on our website.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just to guide the listeners, it's on www.samro.org.za. Just under creator, there you'll see SAMRO benefits. If you do not complete, whether it's the beneficiary form for SHRIF or funeral benefit, again, we cannot help you or anyone in your family members to bury you
Your loved ones.
around. Yeah.
So within that 18 months, they have to contact SAMRO, of course. But now I think then what you are saying is that if they haven't nominated someone, right, then it means we are unable to reach out to the family. But I know that at times we've heard news like through social media. Today's world is very fast paced.
Yeah.
So, and I know at times your team has actually contacted us to say, guys, a certain member has passed away, and then you take the initiative to contact the family.
Correct. So even with that, we sometimes we struggle. I mean, you will see it on the news that whoever has passed away, this is
Yes.
the spokesperson. But sometimes that's where it ends. The name of the spokesperson. There won't be a contact number, or if there's a contact number, sometimes it's not reachable because I mean it is a very pressured time. Someone just
Yes.
passed away, so it makes sense that the spokesperson might not be available. But that's where it's very important. Then we don't rely not so much on the spokesperson, but on the data that you provided SAMRO. So it's very beneficial then that you do complete either a form on the website or go on our portal, log in and go under, account and profile and just, place your beneficiary or next of kin there. That's the easiest thing to do because we've created platforms such as the portal for exactly that. Wherever you are, just log on to the portal.
And change
less
the
than
details.
5 minutes.
We have
update
it.
your details, update your beneficiaries and next of kin here.
And then what supporting documents does your team need
For the funeral benefit.
for the funeral benefit? Yes.
So it does depend, but they are consistent, of course. If the member, for example, so with the funeral benefit, we do cover the member, we cover the spouse and
Yes.
up to 6 children, but the children, the age do vary from stillbirth and the age of 21. If you are the age of 21, then you still have to be in school. But for example, if the member does pass away, then we do need claim forms. If it was natural, then there are specific natural causes. Then there are specific forms that we do allow the family members or the claimant to
Yes.
complete. And if it was an unnatural death, for example, there's a specific form that the police officer who is investigating the death to complete. But nonetheless, then we will need the certified ID copy, of course, the death certificate. And for example, if a member was married, we need proof of relationship, right? We need to make sure
yes.
that we are paying your wife.
The right
and
person.
not just someone that is claiming, not your girlfriend.
Because they don't have
claiming
right to claim.
Yes. So we need to make sure that that proof of relationship is there.
Okay.
Thereafter, then it's just simple. If you are claiming, then we need your ID as well certified and, of course, your bank statement.
So let's say then, Tabi, I don't know that my parents were SAMRO members, but I am aware that they are music creators. They were music creators, however, they've passed on. So can I contact SAMRO to say, can you please check if there's any claims to the family? But now we've said that it's only up until 18 months. What happens to cases of 5 years, 16 years ago? What happens to those cases?
Unfortunately, we cannot pay you if your father had father or mother or the music creator have passed away.
Yes.
But if, for example, the composer author was an active member, right?
Yes.
The funeral benefit, let's say, it has lapsed, right? There's nothing that we can do.
Yeah.
But we still have royalties. I mean, if the music is still out there, we can still elect you as a beneficiary, so you can earn royalties for the next 50 years.
So that information being up to date with SAMRO is very crucial, because it just
100%.
trickles down not to just one thing, to also everything else. Because I know that the music, you can earn royalties up until 50 years from the date of your birth, from your death,
of
right?
death, yeah.
So for 50 years, your family or your next of kin or your beneficiaries can still benefit from your music.
100%, which does highlight also having an honest conversation with your family members to say, like, if I am a prospect member, I don't have a funeral benefit, right?
Yes.
And as well, if I am an active member, meaning that I do have benefits with SAMRO, so you have to contact family members. But again, like you said, even them, they need to notify us. They need to update their personal information, rather, in order for us to pay out the funeral benefit.
So I'm taking it that it's the same for SHREF, because we also have the SAMRO Retirement Annuity Fund, started in 1969. I know that a majority of our members aren't aware that we have the SAMRO Retirement Annuity Fund. Can you take us through it? And also, please, the challenges that your team is encountering with SHREF.
With SHREF, again, they don't contribute anything again. It's just us again as a thank you for, creating such lovely music. Here's a benefit.
Yes.
So there are different types of ways to actually claim for the retirement fund. It's not just when you have passed away. Even members that are still, creating music, you are alive and you're creating music, you can still claim if you have reached the SAMRO retirement age,
55.
which is 55 until 75. And so we have a COVID relief, right? If you did not earn any royalties the previous financial year, and we didn't make a contribution, for example, or your retirement fund, the value is below the value of 15,000,
yes,
and you are below the age of 55, then you can also claim for the retirement fund. And of course, you get situations where, life happens, then you cannot work anymore, you cannot compose music, you cannot write music anymore, then that's when you can apply for an ill health. But with that, the Board of Trustees, they make a decision on whether they can approve it, but based on the documents that your specialist or an occupational therapist have completed and say, listen, I do confirm and verify that this person is permanently incapable, which is very important, because I think a lot of times creators say, sometimes come to us and say, I don't make music anymore. Like, it's no longer my passion, so I'd like to claim. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah. Because you are still capable if you want to.
Exactly that. But with the ill health is that you are permanently incapable for many reasons, right?
Yeah.
Then the Board of Trustees will then decide if you do qualify for that.
health.
And of course, deceased. Now, deceased is a whole new other ballgame there, because again, it's the Board of Trustees that make a decision on whether you can claim it or not. The Board of Trustees are guided by Section 37C of the Pensions Funds Act, where it's their mandate to allocate the retirement fund to people who were financially dependent on you. For example, we get situations where here I am, I was married, but I had a girlfriend, right? And that girlfriend, without my spouse knowing, I used to send that 12 rand airtime. I don't know, maybe she used to work at an outbound where you use your own phone, whatever situation it is. But the fact that, that girlfriend can come through and say, listen, this person used to send me 12 and airtime, and I used that to find a job. I was very financially dependent
on this individual.
And so circumstances like that. So the board of trustees are able to analyze your financial circumstance at the time of death to see if you're financially dependent, right? But again, it's very important for you to have a will, which is some of the challenges that we face in the department, where 99% of our members do not have wills. And I think, I don't want to generalize, but I see with a circle of my friends, they want to earn a specific
salary
for you to have a will. No, you don't have to be a high earner here at SAMRO to have a will. As long as you're an active member and you still receive, even if it's 2 cents of royalties, have that will, because remember, you're now an active member, and yes, at the time you had earned 100 rands. That's why you're able to be promoted from prospect members to an associate member, right? Whatever circumstances happen where you're no longer, earning royalties, there's still a benefit. Should you pass away, you will still be buried, in dignity. There's still a retirement fund, for example, at the time. But it's very important to note that if you're not consistently earning royalties, right, we can't make a contribution. It gets stuck there with our administrators. But there's administrative fees similar to your bank account.
Yes.
I mean, there are charges, right? So our administrators, to hold your retirement fund, they're admin fees related. But to go back to the importance of the will, it guides the board of trustees to know what were your intentions. Who do you recognize as your spouse or your children or whoever?
And it makes it easy.
It makes it way easy. It's a guiding. So the will serve as a guidance to them to know who are your people, right? Then they will analyze again, did the member have a beneficiary form? If there is a beneficiary form, perfect. Then we know again what were your intentions as a creator who has this benefit with SAMRO. So it takes a lot of investigations to see who was financially dependent on
the payout. Then takes time.
Exactly that. Normally we don't give turnaround times because, it depends. It's complex. Yes. It's a complex issue because, again, we still have to correlate relevant documents to make the case tight fit, to make sure, again, that we do pay the people who are financially dependent. But a will and that beneficiary form and updating your beneficiaries, they go a long, long way to make sure that, apart from the other investigations, of course, but that's a starting point to make sure that we distribute your death benefits. And I speak for myself. I know, as Black people sometimes, as Africans, you're like, I'm writing a will. I'm dying tomorrow, So it's not about that. It's about making it easy for those you're leaving behind. Exactly that. And as well, I think what you're saying is so correct, because they are scared that if I write a will, it's me saying to the universe, I'm ready to pass away. Take me anytime. And I'm very superstitious myself, so I'm scared. You like that as well? Yeah, I'm thinking about this will. No, but I will. I've learned something today. Do better, be better. Teach our members the importance of having a will. Be an example, definitely. But a will and outdated information are some of the challenges that we do see very often here at SAMRO. Yeah. So in closing, Tawi, what information do you think that our members should know, right? Because I know SAMRO is very administrative heavy. There's a lot of paperwork at the back end. If we could take people through the office, I think they would be shocked. There's a lot of work that happens behind these closed doors. So what do you want our viewers and our members to know in closing? I think for me, I underestimated the music industry, the business side of it all. Like you say, a lot happens. But the other lot that happens is creators of music making sure that they actually register with SAMRO. Yes. So we can, collect those royalties through license fees. Number 2, they need to make sure that every song that you compose, every song that you write, or you as a publisher, if your composers, authors do, write or compose a song, you need to notify it with SAMRO. But most importantly, make sure that you update your information with SAMRO. Even if you update it the next day, it's fine. We have a perfect and efficient call center or front office team that will update your information to make sure that once you go through the membership journey, from your prospect member to associate, your information is there, and we're able to give you your benefits when you're an active member. So that's my closing today.
Ntabi, thank you so much for joining us. My viewers, nizivele directly from Ntabi Seng's mouth that if you are thinking about becoming a music creator, first thing is first, you must register with SAMRO so that you notify your music. And before anything else, that you hear your music playing on radio, TV, and all the other broadcasters, you ensure that we are able to identify you and we are able to identify your music. And then at the final stage, you are able to receive the royalties that are due to you. And most importantly, we need the latest information from each and every member. It needs, you change your number today, you change your email address tomorrow, please inform SAMRO so that we are able to reach you anytime that we want to reach you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another informative session with the Rhythms and Rights with SAMRO. My name is Nobambo. Catch us next time when we talk more about the Southern African Music Rights Organization. Until next time.
This is Lyric. He's just decided to become a musician. Congratulations, Lyric. Prepare for a life of parties, fans, fast cars, sexy people, and VIP passes. Hold up. Not so fast. Before you can get there, there's a little matter of SAMRO membership. SAMRO is the organization that represents composers, authors, and publishers of music. We get it. It's boring. But this is important, Lyric. Even if you're the type who doesn't like all this business stuff, it's important for you to understand why and how to become a SAMRO member. After all, SAMRO looks after your performing rights as a musician. Performing rights kick in every time a song you have composed is broadcast on the radio, in the mall, even that song when they put you on hold. This one.
We know your time is valuable. Thank you for holding.
Yup, even that one. Anyway, we're the ones who collect money for your performing rights every time the music you've composed is used. So, if you like things like food, electricity, you should probably think about applying to become a member. I know, boring, right? Okay, so to become a member, the first thing you need to do is do a little dance. Just kidding. I'm sure you're a great dancer, but what we really need you to do is visit SAMRO or the SAMRO website and complete the 3 required forms: membership application, notification of works, and deed of assignment. Fill these out and submit them to us. If you're a minor, you'll need to get your parent or guardian to sign on your behalf. You need to include a copy of you or your parent's ID. If you're not an SA citizen, a copy of your passport will do. That's not a passport. That's a goat in a party hat. Just making sure you're paying attention. Part of the application is something called a notification of works. This is all the information about each song, stuff like who played a part in creating it, and where applicable, publishing it. The composers who wrote the music, the authors who wrote lyrics, the publisher that published the song, that kind of thing. You don't have to give us a copy of each song. The information you give us in the notification of works is enough to identify when the music is used. Once received, we'll send you a letter within 4 weeks acknowledging receipt of the notification of works. This stuff is important because before I go on, I need to let you know that membership is not automatic. You are elected into membership if your music is active enough. We monitor how much music is used before we decide to make you a member. It's also why it's important for you to update your music with us every time you make something new. We are not mind readers, people. Still with me, Lyric? Good. As a reward, here's a picture of a lime green Lamborghini. Maybe you'll get there one day. Okay, so you've completed the boring application forms, so now you can get back to partying, right? Not quite. Applicants whose music is active are elected into membership by the SAMRO board, which sits every 3 months. Depending on whether your music has been broadcast, this process can take up to a year or more. Keep yourself busy. Make more music. Maybe learn a hobby. Maybe take up darts. I don't know. There's also a chance your works could never become active, which means you won't become a member. Cue the sad trombone. That's why it's important for you to get your music out there. Make noise, perform, try to get on radio, whatever you do. Just do what you can to get your music played. But if you are elected into membership, we'll send you a letter to notify you that you're now a fully fledged member of SAMRO. Okay, now you can party. And that's it, Lyric. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Here, have a lollipop. You must be serious about this music stuff. That's what we at SAMRO love to see. We can't wait to receive your application.